නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස නමෝ තස්ස භගවතෝ අරහතෝ සම්මා සම්බුද්දස්ස. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, and the fully enlightened one. So, welcome you all, Dhamma friends, to today's Dhamma program. Dhamma forum is a good opportunity for us to meet again online to discuss Dhamma taught by the Buddha. It is purely for our well-being, benefit, and development of wisdom and development of insight knowledge as a magga that will help us all to find the final freedom and emancipation of samsara, to find nibbana. So last week we talked about some part of the very specific sutra from Majjhima Nikaya, the right weave, which is in Pali, Sammādiṭṭhi Sutta. Sammādiṭṭhi Sutta. Sammādiṭṭhi has to be talked and discussed over and over again to enhance our knowledge about Sammādiṭṭhi. And also it will help us to develop it and also clarify any doubt about Dhamma. And later, with that knowledge, we will be able to see the world as it is, everything in the world as they are. Ultimately, we will see the Nibbana as well. Such a tremendous benefit, immense benefit we can have from this Dhamma discussion on this particular topic, right view, Sammādiṭṭhi. So the last week we found some unwholesome factors, 10 in number, and wholesome factors, wholesome dhammas, 10 in number. Again we found that the sutta speaks about the root of the unwholesome, root of the wholesome. I promised last week that today we are going to discuss in brief or in detail the 10 kinds of unwholesome actions and also the necessary factors, required factors for each unwholesome actions to take place, to happen. It is dependent on our interest and time. So that is important, very useful for us to understand these factors around each one of these unwholesome deeds. The very first one is killing, taking another being's life and breaching his right to live and continue his happy life. It is not given by us to that animal or creature. The vitality or living right is not given to him by any other being, but that being himself or herself accumulated the karma to be born in this human world or any kind of world as a being and to live according to the given environment. So, if you are going to kill that animal and take his life completely, just destroying his environment, destroying his right to live, destroying his happy life, and everything we just ruin. So that is the first one, killing. So according to the Buddhist teaching, there should be that intention and volition involved in any action to happen. For this killing action or unwholesome actions to take place, there are some factors there should be some required factors present. Then only this killing animals or unwholesome deeds, unwholesome actions happen. So regarding this killing, there are 5 factors to be present. 5 factors. When these 5 factors are met, the right time or in this action, then killing happens or taking life of another person happen. That is akusala kamma, unwholesome karma takes place. Then we are bound by that karma. Number 1 is there should be a living being. There should be a living being, big or small, and gross or subtle, living in the earth or in the water, and whatever size, whatever kind, no matter. There should be a living being of that kind, knowing that the being is alive, the vitality is there. This is number 2. There is a being, then we know that the being is living and still alive. Then we have an intention of killing, harmful intention, detrimental, hurtful intention to destroy that animal's life. So thirdly, the intention involved. Fourthly, even though we have that intention of killing, we still know that the being is living and the being is there. But the killing action is not completed. Then we should have a strategy or means of killing. Strategy and attempt of killing. Maybe with the throat, maybe with a knife or a weapon, or we just beat. In whatever strategy is involved, that is means. So there are 4 factors there. There is a being. We know that being is alive. Then we have that thought of killing, intention. Then we have that strategy of killing. Lastly, when these 4 factors are present, the being dies. Occurrence of death of that animal happens due to our strategy and thought. Then the doer has committed unwholesome thing. Then he has bound by that karma and cannot be taken out. The intention purely involved in that action. Therefore, no excuse. So we should understand the very first unwholesome action of killing. These are the 4 factors to be present for this unwholesome action to be taken place. The next one, before going to the next one, would be good to just talk a little bit briefly, not going in detail, how the doctors and nurses are working. Sometimes in the operation theaters, they are working hard to make patients live and just keep that person or the patients living. So sometimes, because of there are some maybe mistakes, maybe sometimes even though they given much strategies and also energies, but patient will die. So in that case, we cannot say that doctors and nurses have committed such bad unwholesome karma, because their intention is not involved there. They tried their best to keep that patient alive and also to save his life, but it failed ultimately. Their strategies, their attempt is not to kill that patient, but to save his life. They know that patient is still living, and also there is a patient, there is a being, there is a human being, there is vitality in his life. So in that case, we can't say that the doctors and nurses have committed any unwholesome deeds and actions there. And also, good to understand on the other hand, on the other way, like this. Sometimes, due to some reasons, you get angry with someone. a weak person, feeble, old, sometimes maybe an animal, and all of a sudden you just push him or her, and she just falls down and hit her head against the stone or wall, and because of your action she will die. But in that case also you have to just understand that you have not committed any killing. Why? Because you got angry. You are angry, that is true. And also you know that there is a living being. That is also correct. But all of a sudden, because of an angry thought, angry mind, you just push her away, and she fell down and hit her head on the ground and died. But your intention is not to kill her, and intention, the thought is not involved there, and you are safe. You have not committed any bad, negative karma there. That is one way. And also, sometimes you just cook food and it has some kind of poison. Someone of your family or group may eat it. You do not know, and she will die because of your food. There also we can't say that you have committed any unwholesome deed, unwholesome action and killing, because the thought is not involved. It may happen in the business world as well. Sometimes we find that some news about poisonous food and also just expired food, it may be harmful to some people. Maybe the food is not right and they eat it, and maybe sometimes they get sick, they become ill. Because of that illness, they may die. There also, we can't say that intention of killing is involved. Their mind is pure. This is how it happens. Therefore, it is better and it is very important for Dhamma followers to understand these 5 factors, and also the 5 factors of killing living beings. What are the 5 factors should be present? I don't say that when you are going to kill, but you are going to understand this factor, this the unwholesome action. There should be a being, and also you know that a living being is there, is living, and you have that intention and thought of killing and harming him, hurtful intention, then a strategy of killing and a means of killing, then because of your action, that being is killed. So these are the factors, the 5 factors that should be required for this unwholesome action to take place. The next one is stealing. Stealing is taking anything ungiven and belongs to someone else. We are not the owner. For this unwholesome action to happen, there are similarly 5 factors, 5 reasons that should be present for this action to take place. There should be a property of another person, any item, money or cloth, or any items or material things, and maybe pets, dogs, cat, maybe mobile things like vehicle, something like that. Whatever kind of things belong to another person, and you know that that item, that money, that property is belong to someone else. You are not the owner. You really know that it belongs to him or her, but you have that willingness, a greediness and desire to take it. That is intention of taking it for yourself. That willingness, that desire, that greed rises in yourself, in your mind. You cannot control it. Then you just have that willingness and intention of grabbing it to you, taking it to you. Then you will plan strategy, in a way taking it to you and make yourself the owner of that. Both one is a plan, the strategy. Then according to that strategy you put, you take it. So these are the 5 factors should be required and present for this unwholesome action to be taken place. Sometimes it may happen like this. I think in different ways we can understand this. There is a valuable item by the road, drop or thrown away. You know that it's a valuable property, belongs to someone else. You really know that it is a usable item, it's a valuable, it's a modern item, and then you have that intention of taking it for yourself. The owner is not there in the vicinity. She has gone. But you do not know the owner of it. But you know the item is thrown away, thrown by the road. You take it. Sometimes you have doubt, but you do not know it belongs to who. Your greed rises. You have that intention of taking it for yourself. And also in a certain way, you just plan it and take it. But sometimes, because of that owner is not there, even though you understand that it maybe belongs to someone else, the owner is not in the vicinity, and you do not know whose and to whom it belongs. Maybe sometimes the owner or the person of that item is in this village, in this suburb. Sometimes maybe she is living somewhere else, hundreds and thousands of miles away. If you have good heart, good intention, better try to find and make an attempt to find the owner of that item. Otherwise, you can take it because item is there having no owner. You do not have that intention of stealing because the intention is most important. If you do not have that intention of stealing, then you are safe. So these are the 5 factors regarding stealing: taking ungiven things to you, being a property or valuable item of another person, understanding and knowing that the property or the item belongs to someone else, then the unwholesome thought of taking it for yourself, the third one. Then you have you are going to make a plan and a strategy for taking it in a certain way. Ultimately, you take it according to the plan and strategy. So these are the 5 factors that should be present when someone is going to steal another person's property and item. So killing and stealing. Number 3. And the other important thing is, we should not forget that we are talking these factors according to the sutra about the right view. When we understand these factors as they really are, and according to the Dhamma, then we develop our right understanding based upon listening and reading. In that way also, right understanding, right view should be developed and enhanced. Then we can turn to the third one. Sexual misconduct is the number 3. Sexual misconduct is unwholesome. There are 4 reasons to be present for unwholesome sexual misconduct to happen. Number 1 regarding this is there should be a man or a woman not legally or ethically suitable for having sex, legally and ethically. Maybe by law, man or woman are connected and legally committed to someone else. Ethically and in age, by age, that girl or a boy or a man or a woman is not suitable. That is factor number 1. Second factor and reason is to having the thought of sex, the desire, sexual thought. Number 2. Then there is a man or a woman. The number 2 is the thought of having sex. Number 3 is the action or the sexual act or attempting. Number 4 is mentally you enjoy that sexual feeling. When these 4 factors are present, come together and met, then that sexual misconduct, which is called unwholesome act, is being committed. Then you are bound by that karma. Because here we have to understand that we have to just remember that legally and ethically suitable people are there, legally and ethically unsuitable people are there. Here the word sexual is not the sexual conduct, sexual misconduct. Number 3, we should understand according to Right Way Sutra, these the 4 factors should be there. Then only we can say that someone has committed a sexual misconduct. That is an unwholesome act. So then the number 4, the 4th unwholesome action is lying, telling lies, deceiving and cheating others. It is not physical. The first 3 is based upon physical actions and physically committing unwholesome things. This is verbal, lying, telling lies, deceiving and cheating others. For telling lies, the unwholesome actions, there should be some factors. Number 1 is what you are going to say and pass to the other person is a lie. It's untrue. It's not true. Completely false and a lie. Then you have an intention of deceiving the other person. It is not true. You know that 100%. You are going to tell it to the other person and to deceive his mind and to make him or her believe what you are going to say. And you try to make the untrue factor to be connected as a true fact in the other person's mind. That is the intention of deceiving another person. Number 3, you just try an attempt of communication and deceive the person. The third one is you just in writing or just by verbal communication, you try and make an attempt. So fourthly, the other person will hear your voice and your words and come to understand and believe that what you said was true immediately. If she understands and if she believes that it is 100% true, then you have committed unwholesome action of telling lies and deceiving other person. Sometimes it may happen like this. You have that intention of deceiving other person, and she may be lying on a bed or a couch. You have that intention of deceiving and factor is untrue, and you just loudly say to her while she was lying, but she was in a sound sleep. But you have completed 3 factors. The factor is a lie, intention and willingness of deceiving is there, and you have tried and also attempted is there present. These 3 factors are there. The 4th one has not come. Number 4 is the other person, the listener does not understand, her mind is not connected to this lie. Then you are safe. You have not committed it. On the other hand, we can say like this. You have that intention of telling lie. There is a factor, there is a reason, you believe it a lie, and also intention is there to deceive the other person, and you give it a try. The other person, he also believe and understand it is true. But here 3 factors are present. 3 factors are okay, but the number 1 is not there. Number 1 means you believe that it is not true. You accept it is not true, but it is really a true factor. The other person believe it. And if a factor is untrue, then you have committed unwholesome action of telling lies. So these are the 4 factors that should be met at the time when someone is going to deceive another person. So in different ways we can put it. And when less factors are there, then you are safe. Unwholesome deed is not committed there, but mentally you have had some bad intention. You are not safe there, but anyway, that karma is not much strong. Number five is slandering and backbiting speech, breaking others' friendships, and passing tales. This is also very unwholesome. It is connected to the words. For this unwholesome act of slandering to happen, there should be 4 reasons together, 4 factors together. Then only this happen. Number 1 of these 4, there should be another person or 2 persons especially, persons quite friendly, and they have a strong relationship. Then you take a tale from one person and pass to the other. You have that intention of creating a conflict between these two. Maybe due to your jealousy and envy and dislike, you have that intention of creating a conflict and break their relationship. So then after that, you are going to utter creating tales. Maybe not true. The first one is the 2 persons are there, and you just take a tale from one person and pass it to the other. And these words and this speech should be very harmful. You have that intention of creating a conflict. Then the third one is uttering a detrimental factor to the next one. Then the relationship will be broken. For these unwholesome actions of slandering, we should understand there should be 4 factors, 4 reasons. There should be 2 persons, people in a strong relationship and friendly relationship. You have an intention of creating conflict between them. Then you are going to utter something bad of one person to the other. Ultimately, the third person believes that you told her that something true. And this is the way it happens. Slandering and backbiting speech. Very harmful. And you will never find friends. You can't have a peaceful life because the guilt thought will come to hurt you. The 6th one is harsh speech. I think I should not go to explain it in details for you, because the harsh speech, very poisonous, ruinous, detrimental, harmful speech, and voice and tone is also not pleasant, not sweet, not beautiful. It's a poisonous in every aspect of the speech. So for this, there should be 3 factors present. 3 factors should come together for unwholesome speech, the harsh speech. Number 1, there should be an aimed person to insult through your harsh speech, poisonous, harsh, detrimental speech. Why I said the aimed person? Because there are 10 or 15 people. You just speak harshly, but not aimed. They don't regard you, and they are not going to consider and take anything from you. Then you are safe in that case. But if you are aiming at one person, you just insult through your harsh words, harsh statements, harsh speech, utterances. So having a detrimental, cruel thought of insulting and hurting others, the number 2, then you utter words, poisonous, insulting words to other person, and then with your words, she will be hurt and get a painful thought. With these 3 factors, you have committed unwholesome act of harsh speech. So the number 7th factor is frivolous speech, frivolous talk. Frivolous talk is useless, pointless speeches And sometimes maybe joking for fun, people just tell lies, it's not true, frivolous, useless, pointless speeches there. For this, there are two factors involved. The intention of engaging in useless and unbeneficial speech on various topics. First one is intention. Secondly, you just utter words and engage in frivolous speech and talks. And people just listen to you and useless words, whether they just accept it or not. You have completed these two. You have that intention and thought of uttering useless, unbeneficial words and speech, and also you engaged in frivolous speech. When these two factors come together, you have done it. It does not say that they may enjoy, they may not, but you have done your part. So it is meaningless. Sometimes maybe they dislike, maybe they like. So these two factors should be there for frivolous speeches. This is unwholesome. Number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7. These 4 factors, 4 unwholesome things: lying, slandering, harsh speech, and frivolous talk. These are based on the speech and words, connected to your words and verbal actions. The first 3 are physical actions. So these are the 7 points and bases that virtues are involved. You say that Pānātipātā Veramani, I abstain from killing living beings. I abstain from taking ungiven things. I abstain from sexual misconduct. I abstain from telling lies. I abstain from slandering. I abstain from harsh speech and frivolous speech. These 7 are connected to the physical actions and verbal actions. So these sila and moral virtues are directly involved in your words and physical actions. Now, thirdly, the mental actions are there. Number 1 is covetousness, number 2 is ill will, and number 3 is wrong view. Covetousness. It's better to pay some attention to understand this. Covetousness, we know that is greed and desire. That's true, greed and desire is there. But this covetousness, as it says in its Pali, is abhijja, the word. Why that lobha and tanha is there and abhijja has come? It is because of one reason. You see, sometimes you have some desire to get something, buy something. You have money and you just go to the shop and buy. It is not because you have money, but you have that desire and interest of buying that item. You can't say that you are completely free of that desire. Desire is there, that greed is there, you have money and righteous way you did it. And in this case, it is not so. In this case, there is a property belonging to someone else. It is legally, ethically, truly belongs to someone else. Owner is someone else. You should not be involved in there in any way. But because of your strong desire, it's not just desire, not just greed. You have very strong desire to grab it and to take it for you. The willingness to acquire for yourself. That intention. So, property belongs to someone else, but you have an idea and concept and willingness and strong desire to make that property for you. You see, the righteous way is you should earn money and purchase it. Otherwise, you can find something from somewhere else. But here, you are very greedy for someone else's property, an item or vehicle or a house or whatever. So these two factors are involved thoroughly for this covetousness. Even though you have not committed anything physically, when you have this strongly in your mind, you are committing mentally unwholesome things. Maybe it's like a dream. You just start thinking in the morning and also continue in the daytime and also afternoon, in the evening, every time think about that property. Covetousness is strong desire, strong attachment, strong connection. Mentally. The number 9 is ill will. Ill will also happens in mind. For this, there should be two factors present. Number 1 is another person or living being is there, and you have very strong ill will and very destructive, harmful thought of that person. That means you don't like the other person's happiness, and you don't like other success. You don't wish other person's happiness and sitting and walking and enjoying. That dislike mind is there. So there should be a person and there should be a living being, maybe a person, maybe another creature, maybe a dog or something, and you have that very hurting, harmful thought of ill will. So when these two factors are there, then you have had ill will. Number 10 is a wrong view. We should discuss in detail. We can find that later. Wrong view. The perception or the idea is completely incorrect. It's untrue. Incorrect idea, wrong perception. Wrong perception may be created by someone else or just echoing in the world, and maybe you pick it up from a book or a conversation from others, and you are going to believe it, and you decide, this thought is right. You strongly believe it. Your decision is very strong, and take it as true. So these two factors should be involved in wrong view. You see, factor is one reason. Your decision and your strong thought of believing it and taking it as true is the second factor. These are mental. And here, for mental factors, there are only two reasons, two factors that should be involved in unwholesome actions, mental unwholesome actions. Covetousness, it has only two factors, and ill will, it has only two factors again. Wrong view, it also has two factors. And regarding verbal actions, there should be four factors involved. And telling lies, four reasons are there. Slandering unwholesome acts, four reasons are there. And again, harsh speech, there are three factors are there. Then again, frivolous speech, two factors are there. Here especially, the number one is taken place, killing is taken place with five factors. Number 2, stealing, it happens with five factors again. Number 3 is four factors. So this is how, according to Sammādiṭṭhi Sutta, we should keep in our mind that these are the factors that should be involved when someone is going to commit unwholesome things. The opposite is, according to these explained factors, wholesome things are clear. When you abstain from killing, and when you are abstained from stealing and misconduct, then it has changed and also taken the other side of this. That means wholesome action. It is easy for you to understand according to these the factors explained today. So now time is 8:10. So I wanted to talk about these factors with you because it is imparting some knowledge of Dhamma and sharing Dhamma with you. I believe you enjoyed it. And
Yes.
yes. Okay, thank you for listening to me patiently. And now we can have some time to discuss something came up from this sutra today. The sutra means these 10 kinds of unwholesome factors I just explained.
I just wonder what the whether in Buddhism sort of distinctions are made depending on the circumstances of the person acting. Whether for example, if you've got a poor person who is he knows that his children are starving, and he steals some bread from a shop, for example. Would his karma be less heavy than say somebody who's well off and who just pockets things for the delight of it?
Mm-hmm. That factor, that reason should be understood wisely in this way. His present life condition is not the matter for committing anything. But at a time when that poor boy is going to steal something for hunger, and these factors are not his life. Now that loaf of bread is there, he knows that it belongs to that baker or the shop. And he had a strategy, an intention of stealing and taking for him, and he just complete these 5 factors. He know that loaf of bread is the shop owner's, and he know that it belongs to him, and he has that intention, a thought of stealing, and he plans and he makes a strategy, and then ultimately as he plans, he takes it for him. Then these are the factors. Does not matter whether he is poor or rich, or just, you see, in the other way, someone plans to grab others' property and money for poor people, to feed poor people, destitute people. And in one way, he is going to do something wholesome. But the wholesome action will come later, the secondly, following the unwholesome action first. So what happens in this case, he accumulates unwholesome and negative demerit at first, then later he commits wholesome things. So according to what you thought, you have, according to what you performed, according to what you planned, you have committed unwholesome thing first. Secondly, you have that intention of feeding others, and you are going to the people, you have fed, and also by that way you have committed wholesome things. So wholesome thing is wholesome, unwholesome thing is unwholesome.
So the wholesome could sort of cancel out the unwholesome.
No, it does
possible?
No, it does not. It does not.
No?
It does not cancel. No, it is not deleted because you have both.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have both. But if you consider the possibility that in later life you regret your unwholesome deeds,
Yeah.
and you commit, I'm thinking, lots of wholesome deeds, it may not cancel them out, but surely would there not be some benefit
Yeah.
over time.
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, it can be. It can be. Because just karma is overlapping. Wholesome karma may prevent you from falling to the unwholesome side. That sort of things may happen, and for that you should have a very strong, good merit power.
Right. Okay. Yeah, because I think even some of the Buddha's disciples were not well behaved to begin with, but maybe they were able to overcome their earlier bad karma.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. It is like this. There are some so many similes and also character just discuss about when you are born in a village or a suburb, and then you see you are born into a poor family, not much money, no clothes, no food, nothing, and that is because of your unwholesome karma. The unwholesome karma push you to that family. And from the beginning of your life, you are undergoing so many difficulties. Parents also do not have much thing. After having understood the destitute and the poverty of the family, you give much attempt for education. Even though starving, you try to learn. And later, because of this plan, this strategy and also your strenuous effort put for education, you will become an educated person. And you change the place. You just move away from the born village and born suburb, born country. There, you change your environment, you change your place, you change your position, you make yourself educated in that way. Or even though the karma is waiting to give its due result to you, because you are the owner of karma, but you have changed the place, you have changed your life condition. Therefore, that unwholesome bad karma will subside and goes down. And it does not say, you can't say that it completely disappear, but it will just block and obsessed by your wholesome strategy.
Oh, that's very good to know.
Yeah.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Yeah. How, Pam, can't you find any question from in your vicinity?
It's all very interconnected, isn't it? I think any one of these,
yes,
each one and the factors, somehow they're not. I don't see them as separate, and I see each one of them, as being able to manifest as unwholesome. The way that it would manifest or could manifest, as being unwholesome karma, is in disturbing the mind and the heart, So my experience is that when, if I have said or done something that I've regretted, I'm somebody who has to sort of really take steps to fix that up quite quickly, because it just keeps coming up. Has to be put right. And it might be a word that was spoken or... I find the first one, the not killing, as somebody with a very long career in conservation, although I wasn't actually directly involved in field work, but for example, for many years I was on the committee of the WTBA, and I was the one who did the liaison with Wellington Regional Council, because the monastery was obliged as a landowner to enable possums to be killed and taken off the land because they were destroying the bush. And that whole sort of question of, needing to kind of deal with pests. I know in Thailand, I remember there were discussions around termite mounds just destroying property at, I think, Wat Pananachar. I've grappled with this, and I don't grapple with it because it doesn't trouble my heart. But like currently, we've had some rats on our property, and they've recently eaten through a piece of piping in our bathroom and caused some pretty expensive damage. You know, so yes, you could put poison up there and kill the rats, but I don't personally like using toxins because it causes a lot of suffering. I mean, it's a very painful death.
Yeah.
I'd sooner trap something and kill it.
Yeah.
Yet I'm reluctant to do it myself.
Yeah.
It gets quite tricky, you
yeah,
know,
quite
to
tricky.
actually
That's right.
live in the real world and deal with the reality of mosquitoes and predators.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm somebody who picks up worms in the rain and moves them off the footpath so we won't stand on them. And I put spiders outside.
Yeah.
I don't, but nevertheless, sometimes I'm thinking of rats or the possums at the monastery. There are sort of conflicting agendas. Now, if I pass that karma onto somebody else,
it is, you know,
so I get somebody in to do the possum killing for me, or to trap the rats, which we have done. That's what we've done in the past at home and at the monastery. How does that work? Because
it is, I can say that...
Who has the karma then? Is it the person from the regional council or the contractor who kills the possums?
It is in a certain way because the person who is going to trap animals get karma, and also if you directly have the thought of killing, then in a certain way you may be involved in that.
Yes. It is, and I think intention is very important in such cases.
Yeah, that's right. Intention is the very important part. Based upon that intention of killing or stealing or any action, that the secondary part will come up. Even though secondary part is there, if you are free of that intention, you are safe. Yeah.
But did you still have deer come to your vihara?
Yeah, deer come to our vihara and sometimes...
I saw deer at the vihara. It was very beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I think deer are also considered, is that right, Pam? They're also considered a pest.
Yeah.
Well, it depends where they are. But
right.
I believe that at the moment there are quite a number of them.
Yeah, they are not harmful.
The catchment of the Hutt Valley, and people are saying reporting sort of problems. Forests being eaten out, that sort of thing. Yeah,
because they have right to live. We have
because it reminded me of the Isipatana. Park, you know, when the Buddha gave his first sermon.
Yeah. It was a deer park.
It was in a deer park.
Park, yeah.
So that was I thought that was very auspicious. The deer come. Yes.
Well, I see monasteries and, you know, places of spiritual refuge as sanctuaries. Actually, and one would hope that there could be, you know, there will be some rats and possums, and there will be, but one would hope that those animals could live there, you know. We need sanctuaries, don't we?
That's right,
where we don't have to kind of deem something to be a pest. These are very beautiful animals. Well, they mightn't be so beautiful, but I think, you know, it's important to have sanctuary.
Sanctuary, yeah.
And, you know, and for deer and possum and, you know, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
To abstain from killing is very, very important. Yes.
So, next Thursday we can meet again online and we can continue this sutra discussion. Yeah?
Sorry, I have just one question. You did mention avidya, but you didn't go into it. Were you saying that all of those sort of mental actions sit underneath that avidya?
Avidya, yes. Yeah, avidya, no.
So that's the bigger, that's the kind of...
Yeah, avidya is, you mean the delusion or covetousness?
You did mention it, but I don't think you mentioned it as a specific mental action, did you?
Abhijja means the very strong desire.
I think you mentioned it when you were talking about covetousness. Is that right?
Yes. Covetousness.
And you were defining avidya as being connected with a strong desire for something?
No, avidya and abhijja are two words. Avijja is delusion, ignorance. Avijja, A-V-I. This is abhijja means A-B-H-I.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah.
Right, a different word.
Different words here. It may sound similar, but different words.
Thank you.
Yeah.
At the same time, Bhante, the short paragraph number 5 talks about delusion being the root of the unwholesome.
Yes.
So underlying any of those unwholesome actions, including covetousness, there is delusion underlying.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Okay, less than a minute.
Thank you. Thank
you.
Bhante.
My pleasure. May you be well, happy and peaceful, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.